My cap, my little tab isn't working today. I'm back in my studio and everything's a mess. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that would have been a terrible technical difficulty.
Got to put it in my mug. Oh, that's good. That's some good brew.
Yeah, I like me nice. This is a nice cold brew.
It is. It's the coldest of brews. I am a mess today. I get back to my studio. I do not have my camera set up. It's still in the car being returned to me. Everything is a mess. My lights don't go on. My Wi-Fi is out. As Kevin would say,
wow.
Perfect. I'm glad to be home, but it is a mess. But hey, the show must go on. We must do this. Kevin and I just got back from excursion in Nevada, so we can't wait to tell you all about it. We have This Day in Baseball. We have our mugs. We have them ready to go. I have my Mark McGwire 70 home runs. Well, this one was actually 62 home runs on September 8th, 1998. So there you go. Filled with my craft beer. Yes.
What?
Yeah, Ian gives me a why as well. Oh, but hey, we're here.
You look good. You sound good. It's let's rock and roll.
Let's do it. Let's go from the top. Let's go from my script that I have not revised. And I'm just going to wing it here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Baseball Brew Crew Podcast. We're keeping baseball history alive, one craft beer at a time, wherever you are watching or listening. Give us a like and a follow. Go out there and tell someone to subscribe. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, shame on you. We need it. We're almost at 500. We're trying to get to 1,000. And when we get to 1,000, we're going to start busting you on watch times. So be prepared for it. So, hey, we have a great show for you tonight. And if you love beer with your baseball, please tell a friend. We would super appreciate it.
Brew. We like
That's
brew.
right. That's right. So let's do it. Hey, hello.
Guess who?
Hello, Adam. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are back. It is April, and we are going on. Well, we're going to celebrate it at the end of the month, and but we are 3 episodes away from 3 years straight, and that is absolutely astounding, guys. It is a huge accomplishment, and we will definitely have some fun surprises for that. So let's get to the lineup card for today. Yes, right. The Goodwill Ambassador, the Sultan of Swig at the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Cowboy Jack Durango. I am off my game.
I had a largemouth bass bust my line. A couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off. Politicians lie, being fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I could count on. No, there ain't much, man, that ain't never let me down. Hazy craft brewed beer never broke my heart. Like wrestling rings and baseball teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me. Pete Rose in this podcast, and hazy craft brewed beer never broke my heart. Yeehaw! Happy Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. You know, guys, I'm going to have to bring the mood down. Edmund Burke once said, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. So myself being a celebrity and a national treasure, I can no longer stand by and say nothing on this matter. I'm going to use my platform to take a stand tonight, boys. I know that we're all devastated by the recent news of Tom Sandoval and Ariana breaking up on Vanderpump Rules. I know it's affected us all deeply, but I just got to take a stand for my man and let everybody know I'm hashtag Team Sandoval.
Yes.
Of course.
It feels good to get it out there, boys.
Well, a confession is good for the soul. So thank you for that.
Especially live on the internet.
Exactly. Those are the ratings we definitely need. Controversy. Well done, Cowboy Jack. So glad to hear you. Kevin, you are always, this is a hard act to follow, but I'm going to give you the proper intro anyway. This is our field correspondent and senior research analyst at the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Kevin Lyon. Oh, did I make a mistake?
I thought it said, don't you see on my screen, it says senior barista. That was my new job. That's my new job on April 1st. We have my new job. And then I got so steamed off that because we went back to beer that I quit being senior barista. Can I go back and change that? I probably can't. But I'm surprised I'm still alive and standing. I did a lot of field correspondence, a lot of driving. Not as much. Well, I did some research. I did some research for this episode. So glad to be here. Can't wait to talk about the last week. That's awesome. Cheers to Dolly Parton. There you go.
Nice.
I've been trying to just show it off because this is actually a mug I got at Dollywood. At Dollywood out there in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Cheers. We all love Dolly Parton. National treasure. Much like Cowboy Jack Durango.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. My name is Michael Mondragon, your humble host for the festivities tonight. And hey, this is going to be a fun one for sure. So let's get to it. Let's know what you are having for a craft beer tonight. What are you drinking tonight? I'm going to start with Kevin Lyon.
Oh, I get to go first. All right. So on Sunday night, after we went to see Sunday afternoon we saw the Green Oasis play the Las Vegas Aviators, got some food, and then we're like, all right, it's time to brewery to open. We found this one. It's called Imbibe. So obviously, I like the pun already. Went in there, had a good hour, tried a couple beer skis, and I was talking to a new friend of the show, Jackson, over there. And I saw this one. I'm like, this is not my wheelhouse. This is actually a sour in a crowler, so I got 32 ounces to get through tonight. That's why I might be triple fisting. I got the can, I got the mug, and I got my glass. Just whatever. Jack, are you aware that I have a drinking problem?
The only problem is you don't have another hand to hold another drink, baby.
You're right. 2 hands, 1 mouth. That's my drinking problem. Sorry, that's a bad joke. So, but this is actually a sour that this gentleman Jackson recommended to me called Candy Cigarettes. It's a 7.4, and it's a sour. So it's plum, blackberry, pomegranate, hibiscus, imperial Berlinizer Wise, back sweetened with lactose and vanilla, a sour gateway beer for those afraid of sours. And Michael knows I'm not big on sours usually. I'll try one, but usually it's like really, it can get really tardy and overpowered for me. This is a nice fine balance. I took a sample of it. And I'm like, you know what? I can drink 32 ounces of this. And it's 7.4, Jack. It's, it's good enough for me. Nice. Yeah, because a lot of sours are not that strong.
Right.
That's why it's an imperial. So we'll talk more about Imbibe later. But there's a little tease.
Nice.
I dig it.
Nice. Yeah, this is we'll talk more at length about this in our
look at that.
In our Las Vegas Reno discussion. But yeah, this was a nice find, and in effect he went with a sour and a again, to get you off, what you usually do is actually quite a feat, and they did it. They were very, very convincing.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I got this. This is nice. Candy Cigarettes by Imbibe out there in Reno. Cheers.
Perfect. Well, Cowboy Jack, I saw yours for tonight, and boy, oh my God, I can't wait to hear more about this one.
So Sonoyta, Arizona is a southern Arizona town with a population of 707 people. It's known mostly for wineries, but buried in that town is the craft beer oasis in a wine desert named the Copper Brothel Brewery. The idea was made when the Jesser family got together. They got all liquored up on a jar of moonshine, and they began discussing, weirdly enough, the world's oldest profession, along with delicious craft beer. And this interesting fusion birthed Copper Brothel Brewery in Sonoyta, Arizona. The let's see, with they have an interesting fusion of Mexican and pub cuisine, and it's very obvious that the Copper Brothel takes as much pride in handcrafting their food as much as they do their beer. Now, offering beers named in honor of ladies of the night, Kevin Lyon's new favorite brothel, the Copper Brothel Brewery, will have all the Cowboys coming in from a hard day of work to spend their hard-earned money on these lovely beers. So if you're in Sonoyta, I'm sorry, but do yourself a favor, swing into the Copper Brothel Brewery and get your hands on one of my favorites, a 6.8%er, 96 IBU tropical IPA named Kehlani. Now, this baddie has notes of mango, papaya, guava, and pineapple, all developed from hops. And don't forget when you go in there to let them know that the Valley of the Sun's favorite son, Cowboy Jack Durango, sent you.
Nice.
Nice.
That is awesome and very appropriate from our trip back from Las Vegas and Reno.
Las Vegas, Nevada, exactly.
Oh, like we literally did see like 2 brothels that you could get to off of like the 2-lane highways when we were going on those roads. Like,
so, are later on, are we going to cover how Michael had to pull you out of a brothel, or we're just not going to? We're not going to cover that on the. Okay, all right.
Actually, the way that you looked at them, you go, "Wow." I'm not sure if
no. One of them is like really. There's a gas station a mile later. There's a random brothel, and I'm just like, oh gosh, it's definitely not. It doesn't look like. Yeah. Like a place you want to enter expecting a lovely time.
Well, pass by those and pull into the Copper Brothel Brewery.
That's right.
In Sonoyta, Arizona.
I feel more comfortable going in the Copper Brothel Brewery, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and
so
the W is wonderful, by the way. The W is wonderful.
Yes, that's really good. Yeah, you'll get more satisfaction for your dollar at this brewery, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes.
But
less shame.
Oh,
that's awesome. So very good find here. And Sonoyta, where is Sonoyta, Arizona?
So it's south of Tucson. It's close to like the Bisbee, like between Bisbee and Green Valley.
Okay.
So
and there was baseball in Bisbee, the Bisbee Bees.
Wow.
Yeah, they had it was a long time ago, I think, but I'm not sure if they still play or do something out there. But yeah. That's awesome. So Bisbee, well, goodness gracious.
But yeah, I mean, Sonoyta's got it, dude. It's got a population of 700 people. It's easy to miss. Very easy to miss.
That was like we drove by a brewery on the way home. We didn't even realize it. We were like already passing it. It was literally just a stop on the side of the road. Kind of like one of those brothels. Like, what? There's a brothel? Wait, what? There's a brewery?
But we do have a similar brewery that's it was in a very unpopulated city that we will definitely talk about in our second segment.
Yes, sir.
All right, so here is my beer for tonight. Kevin actually walked around on our first night in Reno, and just he was on adventure, on walkabout, if you were, for a craft beer, and he found this in a can. Where did you find this one, Kevin?
Oh, it was just like a shady looking like liquor store market about I think about a quarter of a mile from the lovely Greater Nevada field where the Aces play.
Okay.
So you were just out there prowling for victims, and you came across a craft beer.
Yeah.
The apex predator was in full effect. And watch the newspapers, boys and girls. Watch the newspapers.
Well, in fairness, you have to have an alibi. And he said, "Oh, I was thirsty, and I was just looking for a great craft
He's
beer."
been at this a long time, man.
Yes, I'm a part of a show that's been going weekly for 3 years, and
I leave my business card, and then like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So very good alibi.
I left the Michael Mondragon card and gave that name. Oh wait,
that's a very chicken move on your part.
Yes, bravo, sir.
Thank you. This is the Nar West Coast double IPA from Lead Dog, not Lead Dog. It's Lead Dog, as we will explain in our second segment. Mm-hmm. It's an Imperial double. It's a 7.4 ABV, 80 IBU, and on Untapped, it just says a West Coast DIPA. Well, so I want to do a little bit more research on this. and I didn't find much. Actually, even on the website, it doesn't say much. So I'm going to read what it says on the can itself. It says a West Coast style double IPA brewed in honor of our favorite season to shred the proverbial gnar. So I believe it's a snow term, and because I was born in Arizona and I spent half my life here in California, in Southern California, I have no idea what snow terms are. And I'll probably have to do some more research. I was doing so much production today that I didn't get to do very much research, but I did find that if you go, it says gobeyondracing.com. There's a thing called the Gnar, and it's actually it's actually a race, and it's in Mount Hood. So I'm not, and it's actually, it has a running race, but I guess it's through the mountains, and I don't know. I have no idea. So we might have to do a little bit more research on this one. But again, we're going to talk about lead dog, not lead dog, which we found out we were corrected very quickly as we went in there, and we'll talk about that in our second segment. So definitely check this one out.
I'm sure this can artwork is done in tribute more to like Lake Tahoe, because Lake Tahoe area, which gets a popular destination in the winter, is not that far. We didn't head that direction. I think it's like within an hour of Reno if you're heading west towards like the California side.
Yes, it says brewed, canned, and revered by Lead Dog Brewing in Sparks, Nevada. So, and I think we'll talk about this more, but Sparks, Nevada. What's the difference between Sparks and Reno, Kevin?
I don't know. Literally, like there was like someone was telling us, like, no, it's the same thing. While people that live there are like, no way, man. Like literally, it's like when we were staying like downtown Reno. I looked at this we went to a brewery and it says Sparks, and it was like 2 miles away. And like I feel like I'm still in Reno, and it said Sparks. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like Phoenix and Mesa, you know?
Yes.
Like when you're if you're telling somebody from, oh, you live in Phoenix, and they're like, no, dude, I live in Mesa, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, Jack, this would be a good. You'll laugh at this. It's actually like Phoenix and Happy Valley.
Yes, dude. Yes,
close.
Solid.
Paradise Valley. There you go.
Paradise Valley. There you go.
All right, so let's move on. Let's do this day in baseball history for April 4th. Always a favorite segment with a lot of watchers. So let's get to it. April 4th, 1948, before an exhibition game in Orlando with an ambulance driving the two participants, accompanied by a doctor and a pair of nurses, to the starting line. 84-year-old A's manager Connie Mack challenges Clark Griffith, the 78-year-old owner of the Senators, to a foot race. The sprint from third base to home plate ends in a tie, which Commissioner Happy Chandler, who officiated the affair, describes as a, quote, dead heat.
Wow.
But they're both still alive, so I don't know if I like that call.
Now, I know that photography, 48, there should have been better photography at this time. But,
no kidding.
Do you want better photography of two octogenarians running down the street or running?
If you look, he recorded one on Sunday in Reno, running around the streets in the snow.
Exactly, and look, if you can see the blur, you can't even see the two participants crossing that line.
Wow! So that's Happy in the black hat there.
I believe so. I'm not sure. I guess I'm
trying to figure out who that young man compared to these other people are behind them. I don't know
look at that. Yeah, look at that spring chicken, dude.
Yeah,
exactly. That's Methuselah back there, dude.
I should know that. Of course it is. I'm sorry. I should recognize him.
It might be the Grim Reaper in a baseball outfit.
Sent from the baseball gods, dude.
There you go. Very good. All right. So this is gonna be a fun one. Okay.
Wait, what?
On the nationally televised Hullabaloo, a program that showcases rock and roll groups, host Soupy Sales and his two sons, Tony and Hunt, perform Meet the Mets with an unlikely tune accompanied by go-go dancers halfway through the song. So this sounds ridiculous, right? Well, let's take a look at actually how ridiculous it was.
And, of course, at this time of the year, we can't wait to go out to Shea Stadium. Right, gang? Right. The Mets need the Mets. Line up and greet the Mets. Bring your kitty. Bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really knocking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the NCS Mets of New York bound. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the fellas on the street, where do they go? To meet the Mets. Oh, they're howling and they're cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets. Yeah. All the fans are true to the orange and blue. Hurry up and come on down. 'Cause we got ourselves a ball of the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell. Yeah. Give 'em a hand. And let 'em know you're rooting in the stands. Come on and meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kitties. Bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really knocking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the NCS of New York town.
Wow. I can only say that inspired me to such a great idea. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, I propose, gentlemen, that we do that live at Citi Field.
Okay.
No.
So the Sales children actually that was actually their second appearance on the show. They appeared on the program as guest musicians featuring their rock and roll band Tony and the Tigers. And if you look in the back there, like, because they were Soupy's kids, like, he has their baby pictures up there, and then he has like a baseball picture too, because I guess they're baseball fans. So, Jack, are you familiar with Soupy Sales? Who he is?
Uh-oh.
No, do you know?
He's frozen.
Wait. You don't have to answer me now, Jack. But Jack, I
think he's frozen.
I think I'm back.
Kevin.
Yeah. Sorry. He was frozen.
Kevin, you're stepping on my joke.
Sorry.
So, Jack, am I the best host?
The hostess with the mostest. Yes,
see, Kevin, you ruined it. I was trying to.
Fired. I'm going home.
Exactly. I'm gonna put Kevin in timeout. You were frozen, so I wanted to extend the joke.
And I was like, I didn't think you realized it. I'm sorry.
God, after seeing Ian's comment, I'm gonna have to go back and do a rewatch, dude.
No. Oh yeah, we're live. All right, Soupy Sales.
So Soupy Sales, his children actually had Tony and the Tigers. So there's a lot to unpack on this one. As you see, Soupy's with his kids. I was going to ask you before. Do you know, Cowboy Jack, do you know of Soupy Sales? No, sir, not at all. Okay. So Soupy Sales was, he did like this hullabaloo show, and he actually had a kind of a teen hit called Do the Mouse. And it's very, very tame, and it's really, really ridiculous. But I want you to notice the rifle that's on the wall.
Okay. Definitely keyed in on that, dude.
Yes. And if you look at the top song, "Summertime is the best time for making love." He's like a teen fan. Right. Okay. So Tony and Hunt Sales were actually in a band in the early 90s. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. Kevin, do you know what band they were in?
No idea.
I'm amazed because
Are they the brothers from Oasis?
No, they are not. But they were actually with another musical icon in a side band called Tin Machine. If you're, they had 2 albums, and not a lot of people know about it. And so on that Hullabaloo show, they played on that show, they played a Beatles song, and on this Tin Machine album, they play John Lennon's Working Class Hero. So those two that they look tortured by singing with Soupy Sales.
Mm-hmm.
So they were actually in a band with David Bowie.
Wow.
Go figure that out.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah. I
David Bowie.
Yeah, I remember this. Group from. I mean, I thought this album was really good. Their very first album. The second one went not so much, but yeah, they were actually in a band with. That's actually the guy on the right is actually by the other guy. I think Hunt and Tony are on the left and top here. So, yeah, but he does look like a little bit like Stray Cats, a little bit. All right. April 4th, 1974, a big day in baseball. So in front of a crowd of 52,000 at Riverfront Stadium on opening day in Cincinnati, Hank Aaron tied Babe Ruth's all-time home run record of 714 by hitting a first inning 2-run homer off Jack Billingham. The Atlanta front office had considered keeping Hammerin' Hank on the bench during road games, so the slugger could try to equal the mark in front of the hometown fans. But Commissioner Bowie Kuhn ordered the Braves to put the outfielder in the lineup for at least 2 of the 3 games against the Reds. Wasn't aware of that. Kevin, you were shaking your head. You knew that.
No, I never heard that, but I'm going, I mean, like, come on, Hank, just kayfabe an injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? I mean, they're looking to draw a big crowd in Cincinnati, so I get that, you know?
Yeah.
And remember, Michael, we just saw this. This is this was voted number 3rd best opening day movement. Number 2 is like a Bob Feller no-hitter, number 1, Jackie Robinson.
You stole my next story.
Oh, no.
Because... Well, actually, the story after this one's actually better.
Yes, it looks like it already.
Yes.
That's not yippee, Jack, so relax.
Started getting heated up, dude. I started getting heated up.
I know.
So this is April 4th, 1978. The Expos reveal their new mascot named Suki, an odd-looking character wearing an Expos uniform below a giant baseball head with antennae. The Mr. Met-like figure, whose rights sell for $50, will be released after 1 season after proving unpopular with fans due to his strange looks and quirky behavior. Now, yes, Ian says it perfectly. But wait. You think that this is the only version of this? No, this was version 2. Are you ready for version 1?
Oh, Lord. What?
This was the very first version of Soupy.
That looks like a gimmick from DDT Pro Wrestling.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I guess I was reading an article. I think it was in the Athletic, and the headline, or not the headline, but it's somewhere within the article. It said this mascot actually made kids cry. They actually, it was supposed to youngsters, and it made them all terrified.
Oh my gosh!
And speaking of which, we will be terrified more with our next segment. We have a fun little part of it. Yes, yeah, this is so crazy.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Remember, okay, so marketing in the 70s was much different. They're like, oh, you put this thing together, might as well just see what happens.
They were all just drinking scotch, just like, sure, yeah, screw it, looks great.
Yeah, marketing was much different in the 70s.
With like the football shoulder pads. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's marketing in the 70s consisted of let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. And
he looks
this
like
one
he
at
would
least did not.
terrorize. He looks like he would terrorize your dreams like Freddy Krueger, right? Like,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's pretty bad. Well, Kevin spoke about it earlier. This is a fun one. So finishing out April 4th, 1994, in the inaugural game played at Jacobs Field in Cleveland, President Clinton throws out the first ball. And Dennis Martinez, nicknamed Kevin?
Oh, El Presidente.
El Presidente. Nice. So they both throw out the first pitch as the Indians defeat the Mariners in 11 innings. Also, Bob Feller, the author of the only opening day no-hitter, I like the way that the author of it, in Major League Baseball history, is in attendance. And in that game, Randy Johnson, the big unit, he held Cleveland hitless for 7 innings.
Wow.
So, yeah, so pretty cool to have Bob Feller. And we talked about this before. There was one opening day no-hitter, and it's kind of amazing that I think there was like a second start no-hitter by someone just recently.
Second day? Oh, goodness. It might have been,
but
could have been like last year or something, because it was like 5 no-hitters last year or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, pretty early too. And also the 7-inning no-hitters, remember those?
Yeah.
I don't think those were early as well.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm going to wait for Jack to come back, because I definitely want him to see all this.
All righty. Oh, for sure.
All right, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Are you?
Am I ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready for a new segment that we're going to put out there? We actually have this on our YouTube channel, but I'm going to make it formal right now by doing this.
All righty.
It's called hopping around, and what we do is before we did this show, we used to go to baseball stadiums. We'd look at the craft beer around the stadium, inside the stadium, and all this stuff. Obviously, because of COVID, we started this weekly show, which has been a huge success. And but we've returned. We returned to our roots of why we started the channel in the first place. We're calling it hopping around now, because whenever we go out to these baseball stadiums or anything baseball related, look at the craft beer. We're going to use this type of branding for it. So let's start out with Kevin actually went ahead and actually went to Vegas and did some literally pre-gaming before I even got to Vegas. Really coming from?
Yeah, because it was last Wednesday. Your flight's getting 8:00. I had the day off, so it took my time driving up there. And whenever you're in downtown Phoenix, sorry, Jack, I want to sound like you on a plug ski. If you want to go get a good beer, good slice of pizza, you go to Evil Pie, Evil Knievel's Pizzeria. It actually is ownership from the Knievel family. I should have took more photos. You walk inside, there's all kinds of Evil Knievel paraphernalia. They have the pinball machine. They have a pinball machine there. It's out of order. Sorry to say when I was there. But it's a good spot. Just go in there, get a slice, and they actually have an Evil Pie beer, I think Evil Ale is what it's called, and that's by a brewery called Tenaya Creek over there in Vegas. So if you're in Fremont area, good place to start your day or end your day.
Wow, that looks like my mecca, man.
You would love it.
Yeah, you said Phoenix, but this is in Vegas, correct?
Yes, this is in Vegas. Did I say Vegas? Yeah, it's in Vegas. Yes.
Yeah.
I said Fremont. Sorry, make sure you got that right.
Okay. Yeah, and this definitely looks super cool. And I had forgotten about this, and so you actually went here beforehand, and got. I said I can't wait to do this one, and the beer prices look good.
It wasn't that bad. Well, I mean, I literally got there, I think about 6:30, unfortunately, so I didn't get a $3 beer. I think mine was like $5, so whatever, it's fine.
Got it.
That's that's not a bad beer price in Las Vegas, Nevada, brother.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get for free. You can get for free if you're playing the slots or tables, but it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars for that beer.
Yeah,
sure.
and you don't get these trophies and portraits and everything and history. I mean, and this sign is absolutely outstanding as well.
It's amazing.
So-
I want an Evel Knievel jumpsuit so bad.
Very cool. Very cool. So we started out in Vegas. So we had some other business there that we'll tell you about later, but we started here. This is where we started out. We actually found a beer, a brewery that has been featured here on our podcast before. Angela Trinidad had gone out there, but we finally we got our draft of Love Lady. This was in New York, right, Kevin?
Yeah. So if you first walk in there on like the upper, if going in on the second floor, there's a place called Pour 24 that had about, I think, 12 beers on draft. And one thing I saw here, the other place I saw, they put like a little, like, they had a note on there to show what beers are local. So I was like, hey, Love Lady, Love Juice. I think we had this before in a can from Angelo. So for good first beer to start the whole week together.
Yeah. Super cool. And we found every craft brewery, not brewery, but a place that you get craft beer at New York, and we'll tell you that in just a second. But we actually found our way here. This is where you went, and actually in England, correct, Kevin?
Yeah, they're originally out of Scotland. I went to 2 different locations while I was in London, and they've expanded the United States, and they have their own. They have breweries actually all at several places around the country. So this is the Las Vegas location that just opened up. It's on the Strip. It's a couple buildings north of MGM Grand.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a beautiful place. Yeah, it just opened up in the last like 6 months or so. And they are still, says on their sign, independently owned or community owned, I think is what it said. So it's crazy to see an indie like this, like on the Vegas Strip. So happy to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the world's first carbon negative beer. Look at that.
There you go.
Oh,
And this is, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And United We Stand for Better Beer. That's good. And the next photo is actually, they actually have a rooftop bar. So you can hang out on the roof. So that's the view from the roof that we had. I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, just hung out, shot the breeze. We could have bought a $250 bottle of beer there too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun one. And we inquired, we saw it on the board.
Yes.
It was like $250. So we're like, oh, what's this? And then the guy pulls it out and showed us. And it was a
caviar stout.
That's what it was. And
with like gold flakes inside it or something like that.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
like,
gross, dude.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm like, wow, you have a good night in Vegas. I'm like, all right.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. But we really enjoyed that. Hazy Jane was definitely the best beer we had there. And there was beers I had in England under the same name, but the ones here are just stronger percentage. Yeah. There's Elvis Juice, which we had later in the week in Reno of all places, but we'll get there. But they had some cool like merchandise you can buy. Some cool little vibes. I hope they do pretty well.
Yeah. And then so I hadn't eaten all day, and Kevin's like, oh, there's a Shake Shack over here. So we went to the Shake Shack just to get a late something to eat, and lo and behold, they have beer there.
Love it. They have their own beer called the Shackmeister Ale, which I think is at every location that they have. I'm trying to remember who makes it. I want to say it's Brooklyn Brewery. I think might be the ones who make it, but this is literally like right there at New York, like right outside of it.
Yeah. So after that, the next morning, we went to this. Now, I have been looking forward to this for a long time because, Kevin, you've been here before.
Yes. And
was it at a different place?
Yes. They used to be off the Strip. And then I think in 2021, I want to say it was, they were able to get this giant warehouse that's like 2-3 times the size of the original one. And it's literally right by the famous Welcome to Las Vegas sign, right on the official Strip. And this place is massive. It's really, really fun just to go in there and just check it out. And did you have any photos of the inside, Michael?
Yeah, this is
look at that.
Literally, I mean, this is doesn't even cover like maybe this is like an eighth of it. It's like if you look around, it's wall to wall pinball machines from every era. And they have other, not just pinball, but they have like other, like, they have like some of the Disneyland games that make Mike molds. They have some of the
They have regular video games too from the like 80s and 90s, you know, like your Donkey Kong and stuff like that.
right, but then they also have like stuff like fortune telling and stuff like
Yes.
that, like the
Yes,
fortune telling
yeah.
games and bowling games, and
Yeah.
it's actually it's really fascinating. It's if it isn't here, then it's gone. It's like this. I the most amazing restoration I've ever seen of all these pinball machines, and we got to just walking. We literally just walked the whole aisles, just looking for stuff. Because of course, what are we looking for? We're looking for baseball stuff, and they had all these baseball games. Now I can't show all of them because there were so many of them. We got
It was like 20. It was like 20 machines. There's one we never even got to play because there was a Frank Thomas Big Hurt game, and this guy was on for at least an hour. Like he was that good.
Wow.
Couldn't even get near it. He was just kept on going, and we're just like, we're not going to be able to play this game. I'm going to post some stuff on our social media.
Good.
Kevin got to play some of the games. We actually had this other game. I mean, was it from the 20s, Kevin? Or it was like...
It was a little... Are you talking about the one where with the air pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that was a little bit later. I think it was like the 30s or 40s, but it looked like it was just ancient. Literally, you have a puppet, and there's like a vacuum. You turn this thing for air to come from the bottom of the machine to elevate the ball up, and you press this button to swing the bat and try to hit a home run.
Yeah,
wow.
It sounds ridiculous, but I have a
He has
video.
video of it. It's pretty ridiculous. It's just like, oh my God, people paid for this. I'm like, well, we did in 2023. So,
Right.
you know,
So we will definitely put it out. The artwork
it's just so
is
much fun artwork. Yeah.
so super cool. We'll definitely put this out on our social media. I wish I should actually make even a whole video of us just
You
playing.
can make a reel. You can make a couple reels of that. It's
It's so fascinating to see all of these games like in action too, and it was just so much fun. After that, we had some friends that met up with us, and I'll definitely shout them out after this. Right before we talk about some of the other stuff.
Yeah,
But
no worries.
I've wanted to go here since before COVID and all this stuff. I was super looking forward to going to this place. I always see it and always wanted to go to it, and we finally got to do it. They actually have two. They have one in Henderson, but this is like their little room. And it's right next to a place called Skinny Fats, which is a really cool taco place, and they have a lot of other great food. So we got to go here, and Kevin, tell us more about this one.
Yeah, I mean, we went in there, and they had about 15 things on draft, along with two fridges full of beers. Like beers are actually local to me. Like I'm going, I can buy beers. Like I can go drive 5 minutes away to get them. But it's great to see that in Nevada getting the love over there. You had the zombie duck hunter, I believe, which I think we actually. I know we have cans of that too, so I'm sure in a future show we're gonna show that artwork. His artwork is great, and there was. Yeah, it was just like we just had a quick pint and just like, all right, we have other things to do, but we just wanted to just get a good beer ski in there and check out Beer Zombies because definitely deserve some more love, for in the Las Vegas area.
Yeah, they're super cool. I believe they have their own beers, but they also, we saw a lot of stuff from like Bottle Logic. Yeah. We saw a lot, and it was, if you're familiar with Bottle Logic and know their style, their Beer Zombies is very reminiscent of that.
Yes,
absolutely. They had a lot of beers like that, and definitely, it was like literally almost like a hole in a wall compared to the restaurant. But it's worth going. Cool little spot to check out, and so of course we didn't let that go. Right before the main reason why we were kind of in Vegas that night. But we had to stop here at a beer house, and this was right outside T-Mobile Arena. Mm-hmm. And as we went in there, so we stopped in there because you had known about this, right, Kevin? From before, we were trying to find.
We were trying to find this place the night before, and we didn't realize it was outside on the side. Because you go out New York, and just outside of there is where the T-Mobile Arena is. That's where the Golden Knights play in the NHL. So this is more or less the beer bar you go to pregame before you go inside for the Knights. And so we found this place, and again, the menu lists at some check marks like, "Ooh, this is local." It was, I'm going to space out the name of this one. There's another Tenaya Creek beer, a Gypsy Fade, I think it was called, if I remember right. I hope I have the name right on that. But we were like chugging these in here like off and on all night, as opposed to paying like, arena price beers,
Right.
Yeah. And the reason why we were in Vegas in the first place was to see Depeche Mode at T-Mobile Arena. And it was kind of really special for me. I've seen Depeche Mode in 5 decades. So the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now 2020s.
Wow.
So again, a very special emotional show for me. I was happy that Kevin, I couldn't go to the Los Angeles show, but this was 2 nights later and in Vegas, and we're just like, oh, let's make this happen. This is totally awesome. And it was cheaper.
I owed him one. I didn't get a chance to fully repay him for the last time they played LA in 2017 or 2018. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So this was a sign that was outside Beer House. All I ever wanted is beer in my arms. Things are very unnecessary. Okay. So
that's good. That's a good point.
Yeah. And so anyway, so we go to Depeche Mode with we meet up with our friends. We wanted to definitely give them a shout out there.
Give a shout out to Jeanette in the back with the glasses and Fun Size. I'll give her nickname out. So
yes,
they met up and hung out.
Yes, we enjoyed Depeche Mode very much, and actually went back to Brew House afterwards. We actually met up with a couple that
That's right.
Beforehand that actually came out from England. They had never seen Depeche Mode in Europe, but this was their first show in Las Vegas, and they were super nice and super excited about it.
Love shooting a piece at them. Yeah, give them our card. I'm like, you may not know anything about baseball, but hey, you know what? You might have fun watching us talk about.
They'll definitely have fun. They'll definitely have fun through this show. They will learn to love baseball.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
For sure. So the next day, we're getting a little bit groggy, but we're gonna make our way to Reno because another part of this trip was because we were supposed to actually go to Phoenix, see Cowboy Jack and everybody, and see the Savannah Bananas, but we did not get tickets and get on that list and everything, so that was a bit of a disappointment.
Wow.
So we're like, how can we make this good, and how can we make this trip really super memorable? And we said, we could go to one of 2 places. We go to Salt Lake City to see the Bees, or we go up to Reno. Now, Cowboy Jack, I don't know if you know this or not. There's snow in Reno and Salt Lake City, for that matter. And
snow.
This is about the time that all that happens. So we were a little bit like, this.
Well, I want to thank Cowboy Jack because Cowboy Jack is the reason why I did not pick Utah. And you know why, Cowboy Jack? Because of their breweries.
The breweries, yeah. See,
Yes.
dude, my outreach is helping people. I'm healing the world, bro.
Remind, if people didn't see, so in the state of Utah, if they're making beers on site, it can't be above a 5% ABV.
Right. So we said if we're going to go that far, it was like 8 or 9 or 8 hours that way.
And I saw there was going to be snow in the forecast over the weekend, so I was worried I might get a snow out for a baseball game. And there was a cancellation. There was a doubleheader over the weekend in Salt Lake.
There you go. So we went up to Reno, and on the way, we had to go through Tonopah, Nevada. And the thing about driving up there is that you can be going, the top speed limit at one point, and all of a sudden you have to slow down to like 25, right, through these cities.
Yep.
So that gives you us the opportunity to look around and see what's there. We was like, oh, wow, look at that. So on the side,
like a brothel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm looking over there and I'm like, there's a brewery right there. And Kevin's like, oh, he says like Parks. And so this was Tonopah Brewing and actually barbecue. They actually have a barbecue there too. So we just go, let's stop and check it out. We actually were trying to catch a game that night, but we saw the brewery. We decided to make it happen. We took a little time out to do this. So we were glad we did because we found these little booklets where you can go around and get stamps on. It's like a Nevada passport, and I'll show it later in my slide. But this, I only saw it on the board. I'm like, oh, can we get our passports? We got them stamped here in Tonopah. So we leave here, so we just had one, and then we left because we had still a long.
We were still at least 4 hours away from Reno, I believe. Like,
Wow.
you know, it's like an 8-hour drive from Vegas to Reno, something like that,
Right.
without stopping. Yeah.
But Cowboy Jack, the next place I'm going to show you, only Kevin could find and said, we're definitely stopping here. And it is the world famous, America's scariest motel, the Clown Motel. We actually stopped here, and I think that we would have stayed longer if we could have, like, just to look around. They actually had a gift shop
and a clown museum. Believe me, I got a lot of flack online from people for not going in there. I'm like, you know what, people, I'll go back and I'll stay there. And that freaked people out too, that I would be willing to stay there.
Yes.
Because there's rooms that are definitely decorated to match the clown motif, and apparently it's haunted. There's a graveyard. There you go. There's a graveyard across the street. I'm like, I'm all in for all that.
A graveyard across the street.
Yeah. You
Yes.
know I'm in. Like, I'm scared of a few dead bodies. Come on.
Sure.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Nothing scary about that.
And all the rooms are themed.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
So and then they do like movie shoots up there, TV shoots, but it's like when we told other people that we stopped here and we showed it, it's like they were legit like, I get the hell out of there.
Like, I'm like, I'm going in.
Totally. And just look at that.
Oh my God.
What nightmares are made of right here.
That looks like my childhood, bro. Like,
oh, good, Jack. You'll stay with me there then.
yeah, dude.
Oh, heck yeah, let's do it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I need a companion for that.
I grew up waiting for the old weird uncle dressed as a clown to come in the door. It's fine. I gotta call my therapist.
Oh, sorry, Jack.
Oh, so good. So yeah, we definitely stopped here and had
Just took some photos. It's like
had a moment of zen for sure.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
But this is where we were actually getting to. So we actually drove all the way. We actually saw a University of Nevada versus San Jose State game. And Jack, when I tell you that Kevin and I were frozen when we got out of the car, and it wasn't so much that it was cold, it was windy. And that made it, the wind chill factor made it so much more just unbearable. Like it was insane. And
like, you could see the San Jose State players are on the field. The guy would have his glove on one hand and his hand would just be in his back pocket the whole time he's out there on the field. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, can you imagine the sting of like a ball? Oh.
Yeah, they had to play baseball, but we when we got there, and thank goodness Kevin brought up these scarves, but I didn't bring a scarf, and I was like, "What? You've
been on Texas and Arizona, New Mexico. Come on!"
But I'm sorry, I'm going and buying a scarf as soon as I can because I will never be without one again. And gloves, I'm going to have them
I should have
on hand at all time. Anytime I even think about snow, because I'm going to show you. Look at the snow in the background.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. So you see all the snow in the background. It is. Yeah. I couldn't even. I was trying to do the social media, and I couldn't even. Like my hands were frozen. Like I'm like, oh my god, I can't even think. I'm like, and that's the truth. Like it really couldn't.
So Jack, you're that crowd heat, right?
Yeah, that was good heat, dude. Good heat.
The first base side, that's the Nevada dugout, and that's where all the Nevada, students are at. And so we noticed later they started leaving. I found out later, apparently it was $2 beer night, and they were out the $2 beers at like the 5th inning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the fun part is, Jack, we got there in the bottom of the 4th, and there was no score.
Okay.
Michael, should I ask Jack, what do you think the score would have been after 7 innings?
Yeah. What was the score, and when did we leave?
All right. I think that you left in the 9th inning because I know you guys are road dogs.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a 9th inning, and the score was 12-6.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of close on the score. We actually left in the bottom. We only stayed 3 innings.
What?
Yes.
Were you guys feeling okay?
There's a reason
We were
because it was probably the same timing as 9 innings because they scored like 15 runs, Kevin.
The score was like 17-0 by the time it was the bottom of the it was the 7th inning. It was 17-0. It was no score. We walked in the 4th. In the 4th of 6, they scored like 17 runs, including a grand slam.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what?
It was the bottom. It was at the top of the 7th. We're just like, it is ridiculously cold. And I said, we still have to go to the hotel and we still have to do other.
We're gonna go to a brewery because breweries close kind of early in Reno.
Yeah. So we go, it's pretty safe. Nevada's going to win this, right?
Right.
So,
all right. I think we're good, boys. Yeah.
The final score was 19-18 San Jose State.
What?
I'm kidding. It was 18-1 Nevada.
18-1. Yeah. So that you can say that, the Baseball Brew Crew being at your game. Remember when I went to the New Mexico State game?
Yes.
In the first inning, they scored 6 runs. This one, they scored 17 when we were there, right?
In 3 innings. Yes,
3 innings. So in 4 innings, we rack up the score. And then that I'll add on to this later.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a beautiful sight line of this. And right before the sun went down, just beautiful. But we wanted to make it here. We've actually had, I believe we've had Revision beer.
I have on the show. I have for sure on the show.
Yeah, I definitely have as well.
Yeah, so we definitely wanted to make it here. This is Revision Brewing Company, and what a beautiful space. And they're playing the cornhole game in the background. It's super big. They have a lot of awards. They're an award-winning beer. I had the Disco Ninja, which is something that I've had before, but I've never had it on draft. So I had that one. Kevin, what did you have?
Oh goodness. I think I had the Hazy Life. Is that where I had the Hazy Life? I think it was. And the other taste of there is Vegas's. I can't say that word. Vegas's F. Blank.
Yeah, they had Reno as F and then Vegas as F, which was fantastic. Also, a very, very.
I should have muted myself. I should have muted myself when I said it. Sorry, I should have went Vegas. I don't my cough button,
Yeah, and so again, it's like all these Vegas beers, like everything killed. It was so good, and I'm Vegas, Nevada beers, but both Vegas and Reno so far are killing it. So we knew where to go. This was a very respected brewery. Mm-hmm. They had, but we had our craft beverage passport.
Yes.
And we got the stamp. So we actually knew kind of some ones that we might not have been known of if it hadn't been for this passport. We'll definitely be talking about that more.
Yeah.
And so we got our stamp here, and then the next morning we actually went here. Do you know what this is, Cowboy Jack?
That is the National Bowling Stadium, brother. That is the don't get Munson there, bro. Don't get Munson there.
Yes. Exactly. Boom.
Yeah, you nailed it. So we actually went there and actually saw. So for those of you not familiar with the bowling museum, this is actually in Kingpin. But I'm going to put this in the stream so you can actually see what it looks like from ground level and actually the level above. Yeah. So as my advice to people, but also advice to me when I pick a lane, right? Pick a lane. But yeah, it was super cool. And they had like the whole, like the Bowling Hall of Fame. We saw a lot of baseball stuff in there. They have a lot of, we also had a lot of brewery stuff on there. They're sponsored by different breweries as well. And Kevin, you had actually been here before, but we saw more here.
Oh, absolutely. I last time I was in Reno, we have to go in and see. And literally, the doors is open, but nothing's going on. The Hall of Fame area was closed, and we're just walking around where the bowling alley was. I'm sorry, well, I shouldn't. It's bowling alley, but it's not. I can't just walk in and play. Jack, you're a national treasure. You could probably do it.
Yeah,
but
I have my people set that stuff up.
It's for competition. And when I went there, literally, like barely any of the lights were on, but we was like, we gotta see where they shot the end of Kingpin. Sure.
Yeah, so
I'd love to get to see it.
It was walking distance from not only our hotel, but a lot of other things that I mean, everything was walkable, so it made it great. And actually, let me do this. So Angelo and Mark Durango, a fan of the show, they were actually at Ring of Honor and part of WrestleMania weekend. There's Big Teach and James Morgan there. So they actually went to a Ring of Honor, but then they went to WrestleMania. Now this is in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And so they can again, we actually had a fun plan for this day. So this was the day before, but April 1st, what we decided to do is have some coffee in the morning. And we all have our mugs here because, we played a little bit of a joke on everybody for April Fool's Day. So yeah, we went to a Maple Moon Coffee Company, and we actually, on our social media, we said that we switched from craft brews and beer to coffee. And we put out these, we got the guys who weren't able to be with us to send some pictures in. But Kevin and I went here and really put it over. So we all had coffee. We're switching to coffee instead of beer.
It's a different kind of brew.
It is a different kind of brew. It is, and this was fun. This was a nice find by Kevin for this joke, totally believe it. For thank you. That's high praise. Yeah. We were just hoping.
Fun.
Yeah. In fact, on our Twitter, I can't even get the coffee cup off of there because they hold it and try to verify it. So we saw the coffee cup up. Good enough. So. That was fun, but this was actually the view from our hotel room. Wow. So we'd open up the curtains, and the stadium was literally right there. So on the 4th floor, and actually, it's actually closer than it appears because I had to change my lens so you could see everything. It was actually literally closer than this. So so we could almost see in the stadium, as it were. And they have a really beautiful stadium. So it's AAA baseball. So the facility is really beautiful. I love the Nevada as the O. And then they have the Aces logo right where Reno is. Very cool. This was opening weekend. So a lot of festivities. We actually missed opening day, but we had the second game, which was fine for us. It was all good. And actually, I'm going to go back because so we went to the first game. So the first game we went to, and what was the score of that game, Kevin?
Oh my goodness. It was another blowout. They scored 12 or 13 runs. And I'm like, oh no.
It was 15-10.
Oh, 15-10. That's right. Yeah. It's
10. So there you go. So we have another 9 innings. They scored 15 runs. So any baseball team that's out there, if they want some offense, definitely call on the Baseball Brew Crew. We will definitely bring the offense.
Yeah, we'll grace you with our presence, dude. We're a good luck charm. We're a good luck charm for sure.
Of course.
Yeah. It was
except for Mike Trout. Mike Trout is not a good luck charm for you, Cowboy Jack Durango.
Hey, Captain America.
Yep.
All right.
So after this, we actually went to. They actually have right behind the stadium is something we found out through our passport, but also talking to people. There's actually a brewery road. Now you knew about this too, Kevin, because you had actually gone there, correct?
Right, but I didn't get a chance to stop any of the breweries on this occasion. But this is what I saw. Yeah, I didn't get to go to any of them. When we saw, but we already had I had my can. We split a can of that Nar that I bought when I was, perusing the streets the first night. Just perusing. Don't worry, Jack. But so we're like, oh, this is good. So let's go to Lead Dog, and that was a great night. I'll say that.
Yes, and we'll definitely put it out there. It's actually Lead Dog,
yes,
not Lead Dog, what you think it would be. And what was the guy's name that was there?
Christian was a really good helper to us, telling us what to get, giving us all the lowdown. Talked a lot of baseball with them, so definitely got to give a shout out to Christian.
Yeah, yeah, they had a great facility, great merch, and it was like one of those places where you're just like, if this was anywhere near me, I would go here all the time.
Yeah.
It was that good. And then they also had collaborations with Mammoth Brewing.
So Mammoth Brewery is in the Mammoth Mountains area, California, and they have Mammoth Brewing, and they're looking to expand. So they actually bought Lead Dog. So they had some of their beers on draft as well, including a comp that we had with like a place that makes hops. Sometimes now the hop farms actually get involved in the process of making a beer. We have one of those as well. I remember having an Infinite Chaos was like my last beer. That was the one where I'm going, I think I do one more, and I'm like, let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Made it, but
Yeah. So definitely a great night. Definitely check out these guys. They're super nice, super cool, great beer. The next morning, we actually we're looking. This wasn't the this wasn't the morning.
Yes, it was, because it was the place that I was looking to go to, and their social media said they opened at 12, and they weren't. So
Yes.
Yeah. Google said they're open at 5. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So yeah, I went to this place before. This is called Jim Boy's Tacos. You see how they've been open since 1954.
Wow.
So they were known back then for their Spanish tacos, is what originally would say on the menu. So they've been around. It's like almost like been around as long as McDonald's. And literally, it's like, it's not. Someone asked, is it soft shell? Is it hard shell? It's like literally, like they just take the tortilla and put it on, like, warm it up for a few seconds, and then you just put all the fillings in there.
Yeah.
And really good stuff. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting, like, considering it's more of American style taco, I would think, it was, it's really good stuff.
Yeah. And I think that they're expanding too, to California, correct?
I think they had at some point. I know a couple of them actually apparently didn't work out so well, but this is one of the original locations that's walking distance from the stadium. In case you ever go see the Reno Aces.
Yeah. Again, so many things are walking distance, and we have a lot more walking distance as well. So yes, we actually went to a day game. And the cool thing about this day game is that we kind of glazed over from the 15-10 win the night before, is that one of the reasons why we came up here, and we realized it quickly as we got to the room, because I go, Kevin, something we didn't take into consideration is that Reno Aces are a Diamondbacks AAA affiliate.
Yes, sir.
Well, who plays for the Diamondbacks? Actually, who plays for their minor league team as Seth Beer.
Oh.
And so Seth actually didn't make the Arizona Diamondbacks, but he's obviously going to be on Reno. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So he didn't play the game when we were there. So
on Saturday he didn't play.
So we came to this game, and so we came for the craft beer and the Seth beer. That's because right. He did play during this game. So these are the Reno Aces. I'm wearing the Reno Aces hat. Kevin's wearing his. But if you notice, this little guy over here is well, we'll actually hold that for a second, because he has a special. I need to give his origin story really quick before you need to give his origin story. But I'm actually gonna start with Seth Beer really quickly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, Seth Beer comes first.
So we came for the craft beer, but Seth Beer was another reason why I'm here. So for those who don't know, I interviewed Seth Beer. I actually chased him down and almost saw him in Quad Cities, and just missed him by a week. the next year, I think it was 2018, I actually went to Corpus Christi. He was still in the Astros organization. So he was a first round draft pick for the Astros, playing in Corpus Christi. I think he was like in his early 20s at that time. And I interviewed him. He was taking batting practice off a ship for Corpus Christi. And it's, if you look in our archives, I actually interview him on the ship and talk about craft beer and everything. So again, friend of the show. He's a Diamond Icon, the inaugural member of the Diamond Icon Club. So Seth Beer has a special place in our heart for the show, but also mine just in general. And obviously he's a super popular because his last name is Beer, of course. And none more evidence than right here. So check this out.
Shocking. That's me yelling, beer!
Yeah. So Seth Beer, we got to see him play. He went one, I think went 1 for 4 that game. And he had some good plays in the field as well. And we're hoping that he gets back with the Diamondbacks. He actually, last year, he actually hit a opening day walk-off home run for the Diamondbacks. Unfortunately, did not hit very well, and it got sent back to the minors and started here with Reno. So we're hoping he gets back to the Diamondbacks really soon. On the video itself, I even say, like, when you get to the majors, love to have a craft beer with you, and I want to hold you to this. So we're going to definitely make it happen. But let's go back to this slide. So Kevin, introduce this character on the right.
All right. The man on this cap, Cowboy Jack, I want you to relax. His name is Mr. Baseball. I know that might make you angry because I know you think Mr. Baseball, you think Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Of course. Or who's the other guy? Michael, Bob Uecker. He's called himself Mr. Baseball. So Marvel has a tie with minor league baseball this year. This is part of the design called the Defenders of the Diamond. I mean, there's going to be 96 minor league teams. They're going to have superhero-inspired characters drawn by Marvel animators. So this is the one for the Real Aces called Mr. Baseball. So let me read you his introduction here. Once confined to his hidden lair behind the walls of center field, Mr. Baseball grew lonely during the team's championship run in Las Vegas, so broke free of his bounds. With his newly discovered superpowers and championship ring, Mr. Baseball now soars over the Sierras, protecting the loyal Aces fans of Northern Nevada. But rest assured, he'll return to Greater Nevada Field every 7th inning to sing his classic song.
Well, what is that classic song? Well, let's take a look at it right now.
Time to join us for the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Resident Hero in Third Baseball. If you're able, let's stretch them out. Join us for Take That Ball.
I don't care if I ever get back to this room for the Aces. If they don't win, it's a shame. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes to out at the old ball game. Look at this, is the Green Baseball.
Wow. Wow.
So good. And so we saw that on the first night, and we kind of didn't really know like what we were in for. And then we saw that, and Kevin had he had one of those like Fred Sanford moments where he's like, "Oh my God."
So I was on the fence about buying this cap when I saw that because he was a little late getting up there on that in that video clip. He was actually up just in time to start singing the song on Saturday night. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm buying this hat now. Because I was like, that was pretty wonderful.
Yeah. And thank you, Ian. He posted where the interview is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely check in the chat to see that one. It's just amazing that's how baseball is, right? You meet a guy named Seth Beer on a ship, watch him take batting practice. Yeah, that's how it happened. So it's just a fun video all the way around. And that was my other Texas adventure. So let me skip past here a little bit. And so we actually didn't end here, but this was one of the breweries that I definitely wanted to mention. We did some stuff afterwards, but this is where we're going to end this adventure story. So tell us about this. And actually, the guy that was here was actually a big wrestling fan as well. So we told him that a bunch of wrestling dudes all started a baseball and craft beer podcast, and he was totally into it. So
yeah, I give some props to Jackson because it was just really funny because he literally said when we walked in, he had just finished watching the end of like, I think night 1 of WrestleMania. And so we're just like, oh, really? And they were just, because we and Michael and Lily and I've got a chance to see it. But for those wrestling fans out there, those definitely tribute to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, pay tribute to, people in my family, people in my wrestling family with their having like motifs to their old school wrestling days on their outfits. And it was just like a nice little sentimental moment for all of us out there. And all of a sudden he's just like, wait, what? And it's like, he's like, I was going to go watch WrestleMania right now with my friends. And he got delayed a little bit because they closed. He's like, I got to hang on and talk to you guys a little bit more. So we had a few beers, just had a great time just checking out this place. It's called Imbibe. They're right there on 2nd Street.
Imbibe. Yeah, definitely. And, yeah, it was definitely one of those moments. It's like, seeing guys that you knew and or that we know personally, but also professionally. And the fact that they were wearing a logo that I designed on their gear was super
the gorilla. You designed that gorilla.
Yeah. And
so you should try to get royalties for that.
Yeah, we can get a check, brother.
Wow, I'm almost positive I'm going to get that. And yeah. When you make WWE makes a $9 billion deal, yeah, I'm probably gonna check. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they'll cut you some check skis, dude.
I'll get the same one from PWG I got from WWE, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's cannot confirm or deny that he's Sammy to us. Yes, he'll be Sammy to us. Actually, we went to the taco place with El Generico at one time. We'll just say that.
Okay.
Went to the pay window, but yeah, and all in all, it was this was a fantastic trip, and definitely one that I said there was so much more to this. Like we could literally do another hour and a half on just the little stuff that we did and going around and. But Reno was absolutely awesome. Definitely a place that I hadn't been before. Kevin had been there, but I definitely, would I go back? Absolutely. There was so much we didn't even get to. We went into some of the casinos. I have some stuff that I'll post on social media. They tell them about the mug place that you found, Kevin.
There was a casino, the nearest casino, I think it's called Cali Neva, I think it was, something like that. It combines California and Nevada. And you walk in there, and I'm just walking out, and there's a guy who donated his entire like Stein and mug collection. It was all Budweiser, and there was like about 300 or so like mugs and steins going back to like the late 70s, early 80s, and some really cool baseball ones in there as well. I was looking for more Spud McKenzie, Michael Mondragon.
I know. We did not see that. We did see Budman. He's in there, and but there's also some really cool baseball ones which I will share on our social media. And it's so much fun. And then as we were coming back, there was another one. Like the one we went into Tonopah. We actually found another little craft brewery.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick shout out, Mountain Rambler Brewing in Bishop, California. Stop by there for a quick play on the way.
Yeah,
gotta give them some love too.
Yeah, so definitely amazing time. I mean, for 6 days we crammed in a lot, and there's actually more to all this, which is amazing. But
you guys are the diners, drive-ins, and dives of craft beer and baseball. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was
There's a
definitely
lot of hopping around.
Yes. We hopped around plenty on that one. So, all right. So that's the show we have for you this week. As if that, wow. I mean, we probably did 2 shows here, but Rip and Review, another Angelo Trinidad video this weekend, this Saturday, 6 a.m. I'm actually not even aware of what he uploaded, so I wish I could plug it better, but definitely check that out. It's always a fun time with Angelo. Here's where we are on all the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Guys, thank you so much, Ian. We appreciate that very much. And anything you want to plug or say before we sign out for this week?
Cowboy Jack, you got to plug where you're going to be. Come on. Come on.
This Saturday, I'm going to be in Agora Hills, California at the infamous and famous Canyon Club to do not only a meet and greet, but see in concert Mr. Tom Sandoval of Vanderpump Rules fame. I'm really excited about this, guys. Like, doing all the fangirling. It's going to be really amazing. I'll definitely get some pictures and, some videos from, I'm going to go by Sir. I'm going to go by Pump. I'm going to hit all the Vanderpump landmarks. So I'll do my own hopping around this Saturday. It's going to be great.
That is insane. Hey, we all need our passions, and coming off the 3 years that we did, now you can double down on all your passions and get that's fun. That sounds so fun. And wait a minute, what's the Chicago connection? The band, wasn't there something with
he does? It's a cover band. He puts together really cool covers of songs, and he does a Chicago. What is it, 25 or 6 or 4?
Yes, yeah. Okay.
He does a great job at it. There's horns. It's really eclectic, and he's got an artist soul, man. He's up there like moving around like Jim Morrison, and he's great. So hey, listen, when you get into the Vanderpump Rules universe, you go full in and it'll hook you. It'll hook you, boys. I'm telling you, Team Sandoval.
On right before this trip, I've been on the road. I finally back home after like 3 weeks, but my mom was asking me, she goes, "Have you ever seen the movie?" And I go, "No." And it's only because I said, I don't watch TV anymore. I literally don't watch TV. The last movie I saw was like over Christmas. It was because my friend said to watch this Adult Swim movie called The Yule Log. It was a Yule log that killed people. I go, I got to see that. I got to see. I don't watch movies anymore. I don't watch TV anymore. Literally the only thing that I watch is baseball. And so the fact that you have this passion for something outside of baseball is fantastic.
The wife and I, we share it. It's so much fun. It's our guilty pleasure. And I unapologetically love it, dude.
Good for you. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. And by the way, whatever the lighting is there, it's very, very, I love it. I think that's fantastic. I did want to make mention of that as well. Kevin, did you have anything?
No, I think we talked plenty. I think I need to chill out this week. I think I didn't play in the last week. I'm ready to just relax. I almost drank 32 ounces of this, so I'll probably be passing out any minute.
Good man.
All right. So thank you so much. If you were still here, God bless you.
Toro, bless your heart.
You are aces with us for sticking around this long. We super appreciate it. We are on the march. We have 3 more episodes before we hit 3 years straight, weekly for 3 years. Again, this has been a labor of love, and we love it every week. And it feels good. It feels good. And hopefully we'll have Angelo back on that anniversary show. He's moving to Texas, and he saw a lot of wrestling this weekend. So hopefully he can come back all refreshed and ready to go. Yes, thank you. Thank you too. We're hanging by a thread, but good to know you're alive and here. Thanks again. We'll see you next week with another Baseball Brew Crew podcast. Good night, everyone. Take care.